I'll never forget the moment everything turned upside down. My son standing on stage being cheered by hundreds of people, while the woman who had tormented us lost her mind in front of the entire school. She was dragged out screaming her reputation in shreds, her empire collapsing. And for the first time in months, I felt like justice had finally caught up. But to understand how we got there, you need to hear the whole story from the very beginning. It started on what should have been one of the proudest days of my life. My son Leo had just been accepted into Northwood Academy, the most prestigious high school in the state. He wasn't some legacy kid or the child of a big donor. He got in on a full academic and art scholarship. Straight A's, award-winning sketches, a talent that blew even professional architects away. I'd worked my whole life to give him the opportunities I never had. And this was it, the door opening. We walked into freshman orientation, me in my best suit, him in a fresh pair of jeans, his dreads tied back, looking both nervous and ready to take on the world. I was bursting with pride. Until she appeared. Her name was Victoria Miller, though everyone in the neighborhood whispered Queen of the HOA. She came striding across the pristine courtyard in a blinding pink power suit, her blonde daughter Chloe trailing behind, clearly wishing the ground would swallow her. Victoria's eyes locked on my son like he was an intruder trespassing on sacred ground. She sneered loud enough for everyone to hear, "I hope you're not planning on bringing any of that rap music or marijuana into this campus. We have standards here, and I'll be damned if I let my daughter's education be compromised by affirmative action." You could hear the sprinklers on the football field a quarter-mile away. My son just blinked, confused. I felt the pride in my chest turn to ice-cold rage. But I've learned when you're a big black man, the world wants to see you snap. So I straightened my tie, put a steady hand on Leo's shoulder, and looked her dead in the eye. "Ma'am, my son earned his place here through talent and hard work. He was awarded the Sterling Scholarship for academic excellence and artistic achievement. You better get used to seeing him, because his name is going to be on that honor roll for the next 4 years. Her face flushed red, her finger trembling as she jabbed it toward us. "Do you know who I am? My husband is a major donor. We have a wing named after us. This is our school." Other parents were staring now, whispering. The headmaster, a frail man named Gable, rushed over, wringing his hands, begging her to calm down, offering tea in his office, anything to stop the scene. He didn't look at me. He didn't look at my son. We weren't people to him. We were a problem. And right then, I knew this wasn't just going to be an awkward encounter. It was going to be war. The weeks that followed proved me right. Teachers made jokes about Leo's urban experience. Boys on the lacrosse team refused to call him by his name, just scholarship. I called the school to complain, and Gable brushed it all aside. Boys will be boys. Our teachers are very progressive. He wanted me to stop calling to disappear. Each time Leo came home, quiet sketchbook unopened in his lap. I felt that same cold rage rise up again. And each night I asked myself, did I make a mistake? Did I throw my son into a world that doesn't want him, just so I could say he had a chance? Meanwhile, Victoria was everywhere. Not just at school, but as head of the HOA. She spread rumors in the neighborhood that I was aggressive, that my business was failing, that Leo didn't belong. Then came an anonymous complaint to the city planning board about my community arts project, dozens of supposed violations. Total nonsense, but enough to cost me months of delays and thousands in legal fees. She wasn't just attacking my son, she was attacking my livelihood. I started to feel like maybe she'd win. Maybe she'd crush me until I had no choice but to pull Leo out. Then came the twist. Leo was paired with her daughter Chloe for a semester-long history project. He came home furious. "Dad, I can't do this. She hates me. Her mom's a monster. It's going to be a disaster." I tried to get him reassigned, but the teacher wouldn't budge. "Life lessons," he said. So Chloe came to our house for their first meeting, stiff as a board, clutching her designer backpack like a shield. The silence between them was unbearable until she glanced at his sketchbook. "What's that?" she asked. He tried to hide it, but she pressed, and he finally showed her a drawing of the old mill district reimagined as community space. Her eyes widened. Wow, you're really good. Something cracked open that night. She showed him her photography portfolio, stark, beautiful images of abandoned buildings. Slowly, awkwardly, they began to work, artist to artist. Two kids who'd been shoved into opposite corners by a controlling woman started to build something together. But Victoria didn't stop. She tracked Chloe's car, screamed at her over the phone, tried to cut off their meetings. One night, Chloe broke down in tears and told Leo everything: her mother's war room at home, her lawyers, her private investigator digging into my past. That was when I realized Chloe wasn't a miniature Karen. She was a prisoner. And then I found it. Buried in the nonprofit's public filings Ainsworth Group, a company pocketing millions in contracts from the school. Event planning, security consulting, all no bid, all flowing straight into the hands of Victoria's family. The name matched her maiden name. It was her brother's company. They were robbing the school blind. Suddenly, her obsession made sense. This wasn't just hate, it was fear. My son, my family. We weren't just outsiders, we were a threat to her cash machine. The annual fundraising gala was the perfect stage. Victoria took the mic voice, dripping with fake concern, and warned donors about protecting the culture of the school, about not letting our investment be diluted. Every head in the room turned toward us. My son sat rigid, staring at his plate. That night, I promised myself I wasn't just going to defend anymore. I was going to fight. For weeks, I gathered evidence, working with a lawyer, documenting every petty harassment she threw our way. She thought she was the hunter. She didn't realize she was walking into a trap. The final showdown came during the history project presentations. The best ones would be shown to the entire board and major donors. Leo and Chloe's project was brilliant. His architectural sketches, her photographs woven into a story about rebuilding the Mill District into something new, something for everyone. They stood on stage, nervous but united, and as they spoke, the room grew still. Their vision was stunning. The applause rolled like thunder. And then Victoria snapped. She shot up from her front row seat, shrieking, "This is a disgrace. He has filled my daughter's head with poison. I will not have my family's legacy tainted by this nonsense." Her voice cracked through the auditorium, raw, unhinged. Teachers froze. Parents gasped. Chloe's face crumpled. But before I could even move, the board president stood, voice booming. "Mrs. Miller, sit down, now." The room went silent. He continued, eyes like steel. "We have just received a report regarding your family's financial dealings with this school. You and your husband will meet with me immediately after this assembly." The blood drained from her face. She spun, pointing at me, screaming incoherently, calling me a thief, a criminal. Security rushed in. She clawed and kicked, shrieking all the way out the door. And just like that, the war was over. She lost her power, her status, her carefully built empire. Her husband resigned, the contracts were exposed, the HOA crumbled under the scandal. She had burned everything she had just to try and keep a black boy from standing beside her daughter. And standing in the back of that auditorium, watching my son steady Chloe as she shook with tears, I realized something simple, something she would never understand. Hate always consumes itself.